The only African country that was never successfully colonized was Ethiopia. The nation of Liberia was also not colonized. However, Liberia was a place that had been gazetted for the resettlement of freed black slaves by America. And therefore, the only nation that resisted in the clearest form of the word resisting was Ethiopia. By the late 1800s, much of Africa had been swallowed up, colony after colony, by the European powers. This is the story of Ethiopia's resistance against colonial invasion. When Italy took over the portion of land that is present-day Eritrea, Italy went ahead to sign a treaty with Ethiopia. This was the Treaty of Wuchale. Now, Italy, seeking to expand its control in the Horn of Africa, turned back on the Treaty of Wuchale. And before long, it became clear that Italy sought to colonize Ethiopia. The leader of Ethiopia at the time was Emperor Menelik II. Emperor Menelik II. He believed that he was a descendant of King Solomon of the Bible and Queen Sheba of Ethiopia. On realizing that Italy had turned back on the Treaty of Wuchale, Emperor Menelik II first sought a diplomatic resolution with Italy. However, when that failed, he resolved that they would resist Italian colonization by war. Now, Emperor Menelik II, together with his wife, Empress Taitu Betul, started to mobilize the indigenous people of Ethiopia to come together and resist the Italian colonization. Now, his ability to unify the people of Ethiopia under this common cause was utterly exceptional. And so, 1896, Italy invaded Ethiopia. But I will have you know that prior to this, there had been several nations of Africa that had endeavored to resist European colonization in their lands, and none of them had been successful. And therefore, the attitude of Italy as well, when it was invading Ethiopia, was one where Italy was certain that they were going to defeat the Ethiopian forces. However, with great military tactic, powerful inspiration, the people of Ethiopia, under the leadership of Emperor Menelik II, were able to crushingly defeat the invasion of Italy in what is called the Battle of Adwa. And this was the greatest loss by a colonial power in Africa. This victory of Ethiopia in what is called the First Italo-Ethiopian War heavily fractured the myth of African inferiority against European colonialism. This story of Ethiopia's resistance did a lot in inspiring the anti-colonialist movement of the time. After that moment, inasmuch as racist tendencies still prevailed, It opened the eyes of the European colonial masters that there was something about the people of Africa coming together. At the onset of this war, the Italy commanding officer Oreste Baratieri had vowed to bring Menelik II back to Italy in a cage. And these words came back to haunt him as Italy suffered this great defeat. Let me leave a thought here. Being undermined can be your greatest weapon to victory. Today, in the nation of Ethiopia, the 2nd of March every year is the victory at Adwa Day, where the people are reminded of the great exploit by Emperor Menelik II to do something that up until that point was considered impossible. That is it for this episode. Thank you very much for listening in.